Hi friends, this is Sayukta Sharma and welcome back to Maths Genie. Oh, a very interesting topic that we're going to start today, which is permutation and combination. Either it's your favorite chapter or you will dread to this chapter all your life. So let's make it super simple. But before starting, you need to know the difference between permutation and combination. Now, with these two illustrations, you'll very easily understand what it is. If I say I ate a salad in which I had kiwi, banana, apple, or if I say I had a salad in which I had banana, kiwi, apple. So the order here does not matter. While I'm stating something, this is an event of eating. While I am stating an event, the order does not matter. Therefore, it is called as combination. Now, let's look at what permutation is. Permutation is an event where the order matters. Now, event of opening the password of a lock. Now, I have numbers from say 0, 1, 2 up to 9, and the password of the lock is 901. Even if I misplace one digit, will the lock open? If I put the password as 109 or 019, will the lock open? No, right? So permutation is nothing but ordered combination. These are all combinations. Okay, but the ordered combination, which is the permutation, is going to open the lock, and here the order matters, and in combination the order does not matter. Now let's quickly look at one basic rule of combination with very simple examples. The two shirts and three pants. Mohan has three pants, two shirts. How many different pairs or how many combination can Mohan dress? Guess. I'm sure a lot of you already have the answer. The answer is six. Mohan can have six different combinations in which he can pair these different shirt and pant. One, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. So what did you do? You just did 2 into 3, right? Let's look at another example. Shabnam has two school bags, three tiffin boxes, and two water bottles. How many ways or how many combinations she can carry this with? It's very simple. It's 2 into 3 into 2. 6 into 12. So 12 different combinations are possible. So this is what is written. If an event can occur m different ways, so here in this case m is 2, following which another event occurs in n different ways. So here n is 3. Following which third event occurs in p different ways, which is 2. So the answer is the total number of occurrences of an event is m into n into p. Very simple with this tiffin bottle and school bag example. Now let's look at some tougher ones now. If you already know combination, I'd suggest you can forward the video and then see permutation. Now let's look at this question. Find the number of four-letter words with or without meaning. So here the order does not matter, with or without meaning, which can be formed out of letters rows where the repetition is not allowed. Okay. Now I'm going to teach you two very useful things, which is combination has two types, where combination has two types. One is where repetition is allowed. One is where repetition is not allowed. Okay, we're going to see this in detail now. Now, what does he tell me is you tell me a four-letter word. Okay, so these are the four boxes. Repetition is not allowed. Okay, so here I have four choices. ROSE. How many choices do I have? Four. Okay. Now suppose out of this four, I pick O and I place this in the box. Now for the next box, what are the options remaining? RSE. Now example I choose. So these are three options available. So into three. Now for for this box I'm choosing S. Correct. Now S is already gone. O is gone. So what is remaining? R and E. So for this box, I have two options, R and E. Suppose I select E for this box. So for this box, you had how many options? Two options. Okay. Now next box. Here, how many options do you have? Only R. Correct? So you have only one option. So the answer to this question is 4 3s are 12, 12 2s are 24. So without repetition, the choices that you have is 24. Now, if the repetition of the letters was allowed, if the repetition of the letters was allowed, what would have been the case? You can have R here, so which is 4. You can also have similarly OOOSSSEEE. So you have for every box four choices. Therefore, the answer comes out to be n raised to r, which is nothing but 4 raised to 4, which is 256. Okay, so the next question. Given four flags of different colors, how many different signals can be generated if a signal requires use of two flags? Okay, so this is suppose a signal, okay, and two flags are required to make this signal. Okay, now the signal cannot be of same color, right? You have, even in traffic signal, you have three colors, so naturally we will consider that repetition is not allowed. Okay, so for the first flag, for the first box, or the for the first position, how many options do you have? Four flags of different colors. So for this, you will use four flags. Suppose I have a flag of red, a flag of green, a flag of yellow, and a flag of say blue. Okay, so now out of these four flags, I have selected this flag. How many remains for this option? You have for this, you can select any of the three, correct? So the answer becomes very simple. The answer becomes 4 into 3, 12. Right? So if you have understood this question, we will level up. We will take a difficult question based on the same concept. Okay. Find the number of different signals. So these are all signals that can be generated arranging at least two flags. At least two. At least two, which is, you should have at least two. You can have three, you can have four, and you can have five, because you have the limitation of five flags. So at least two is 2, 3, 4, 5. So a signal of two flags can be made. At least two, can three, can happen with four, and can happen with five. Correct? Now you have how many flags ka option? You have five flags option. So for this, I can have five, I can choose five, but one I have already chosen, so remaining options are four. Similarly for this, out of five, I'm selecting one, so remains four. Out of this four, I'm selecting one, remains three. Similarly with this, five, four, three, two. And when I have five flags option, I can select five for here, four for here, three for here, two for here, and only one option will remain for this. So at least two. The meaning in the question was at least two means you can have two flag signal, three flag signal, four flag signal, and five. So now this all is becomes multiplied, right? I've showed in the last question. So multiply all this. So when you multiply this, you get 20. When you multiply this, you get 120. When you multiply this, you again get 120. And when you multiply this, 5 4s are 20, 23 is 60. So you get 60. Okay. So 20 plus 60 plus 120 plus 120 is going to give me the number of signals. So what am I adding? 20, 60, 120, 120, and 320 is my answer. I hope you have understood with the illustration that I had shown on the board. Okay. Now let's move ahead to the next question. How many three-digit even numbers? Okay, firstly, you have to form three-digit numbers. So I'm going to draw three boxes. Okay, so this part is solved. Then he's saying even numbers. We'll come back to this. And what is the available digit? This. If I have to form even number, the units place should always be a multiple of 2. So it should be 2, 4, 6, or 0. For any number to be even, the unit place should have this. Agreed? So from this 2, 4, and 6. So this is fixed. 2, 4, 6. This is fixed. So for this box, how many options do you have? You have 3 options for this box, correct? Then for this box, how many options do you have? Digits can be repeated. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options for this box. You have 6 options. I can put any number here. 2, I can put 3, I can put 4, any numbers. So for this box, you have how many options? 6 options. Again, because repetition is allowed, you again have 6 options. 1, 2, 3 till 6. So for this box also you have 6 options. So what will be your answer? Very simple, just multiply all this. It's going to be 3 into 6, 18. 18 into 6, 108. So pretty simple. Just make sure that you place it diagrammatically so the answer and the solving becomes simple. So this was the sums that I was going to take for combination. Now let's look at what permutation is. In the beginning of the video, I've already told you permutation is an arrangement in definite order. We just saw that in the lock we had to use a definite order to open the password. It is a definite order of number of objects taken some or all at a time. Correct? Now I'm going to show you the usage of formula with a very good example. Okay. Now look and concentrate, 100% concentration. In a race, there are 7 students participating. Okay. And you have to give them 3 medals, of course, gold, silver, and bronze. Now, how many students are participating? 7 students, correct? Out of these 7 students, what is the chance that how many students can get the gold medal? Any one of this? Any one of these can get gold. Suppose this person got gold medal. Okay. Now for silver, how many options do you have? This becomes minus. So for this gold medal, you had 7 options. For silver medal, how many options do you have? 6. And suppose this person got the silver medal. Now for the bronze medal, how many options do you have? This person has already gotten silver. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 options for this position. Okay. Now order matters in a race. Absolutely. First, second, third. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to use the formula of permutation in this case. Okay. So let's jump here. The number of permutation of n different objects. Okay. Number of permutations of n different objects. So in this case, your n is 7. Correct? N is 7. Now let's look at the next statement. Taken R at a time. Okay. So your R is how many position? 1, 2, 3. Taken R at a time. Correct? Where is R is between 0 to N, of course. It is denoted by NPR. It is denoted by NPR. So how will we denote this question? 7P R. So if I had to solve it normally, how would I solve? 7 into 6 into 5, correct? So what will be my answer? 7 6 are 42, 42 5s are 210. So 210 would be my answer. If I draw a diagram and I understand this, Okay, but how to do it with the formula we are seeing here? Okay, n is 7, r is 3 because there are three positions. So how will you write it? 7pr. Okay, now we will come back to the formula very soon once you understand how to solve factorial. So I'm going to come back here with the formula. But I hope you understood how to denote it. Okay. Now let's look at how you are going to solve the factorial notation. Firstly, it is denoted as n factorial. It is nothing but the product of first n natural numbers. So when we take question, you will understand it better. Now I'll take one question. Suppose you have to find 5 factorial. Okay, very simple it is. 5 factorial is nothing but, so n in this case, so n factorial is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 till 1. Okay, you don't have to remember this formula at all. Okay, this formula you don't have to remember. 5 factorial, how do you write 5 factorial? You just look at that. Okay, it's nothing but 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 till 5. That's it. The product is your answer. This is nothing but how you expand factorial. Similarly, if you had to write 7 factorial, it's same. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 into 7. Okay. So 3 to the 6, 24, 24, 5, 6, 7. You get answer as 5040. Okay, now this was simple examples. Now let's look at the division of factorials. Okay, very simple it is, just pay careful attention. Your question is 7 factorial upon 5 factorial. Okay, now if I had to expand 7, I generally expand till 1, but I will not do in this case. 7 into 6 into 5. So I'm writing first how we generally write. Okay, 3 into 2 into 1. This is how you would have generally written, correct? Then how would you write this in general? 5 factorial, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is how you would have generally written. But to solve it faster, you don't write everything. You don't write everything. How I'm writing this, look at this carefully. 7 into 6 into, instead of all this, can I write just 5 factorial? Of course I can. 5 factorial is nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So to expand 7 factorial, I am going to write 7 into 6 into 5 factorial. And 5 factorial as it is. I'm not even expanding it. Why I'm not expanding it? Because 5 factorial and 5 factorial gets cancelled, and in one step I am getting answer as 7 6 are 42. Simple. This is how you expand. Okay, let's look at one more expansion so that it gets very cleared and hammered in your brain. 12 factorial upon 10 factorial into 2 factorial. Okay, how will you solve this? 12 into 11 into 10 into 9 into 8 into till 1. I'm not going to do that. 12 into 11 into 10. Just I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to go till 1. 10 factorial I'm keeping as it is. Into 2 factorial is nothing but 2 into 1. Because we go till 1 only, right? If it was 3 factorial, it was 3 into 2 into 1. But since this is just 2 factorial, it is 2 into 1. Okay. So now in this case, 10 factorial and 10 factorial gets cancelled. 2 ones are 2 6 are. Denominator 1 remains. So it does not matter. So what remains here is 6 into 11. Your answer becomes 66. I hope you have understood how to solve a factorials very easily. Okay, now let's look at some interesting questions of permutation. The number of ways in which a chairman and a vice chairman can be chosen from amongst a group of 12 people. So you have 12 people from which you have to pick one chairperson and one vice person. Okay, and one person cannot hold more than one position. That means repetition is not allowed. Okay, so you have 12 people in total. Therefore, your n is 12. You have to choose how many people? You have to choose two people, one for chairperson and one for vice chairperson. So your R becomes 2. Now, let's go to the formula. First, how will you denote this? The denotation is NPR. So it will be 12P. In place of R, I'm writing 2. Now let's go to the formula. Let's go back to where the formula was. Let us search where the formula was. Yeah. So the formula was NPR is equal to N factorial upon N minus R factorial. Okay. So I'm writing the formula here. The formula is NPR is equal to N factorial upon N minus R factorial outside the bracket. Okay. In this case, your n is how much? 12. So 12 factorial upon, in the bracket, 12 minus r is 2, and outside the bracket you have factorial. So what do you have? 12 factorial upon 12 minus 2 is 10, and the factorial sign. Now what I have taught you, expand. 12 into 11 into 10. Stop here, and 10 factorial as it is. So what will happen is 10 factorial gets cancelled out. What remains is 11 into 12, which is 132. Okay. I hope you have understood how to apply the formula. Okay. Now, this is another type that was without repetition, right? No repetition. No repetition. People were different, correct? So no repetition. No repetition type question. Now let's look at this example. He's telling you permutation when all objects are not distinct, as in not different. All are not different. He's telling me find the number of ways of rearranging the letter institute. Rearranging as in U might come first, and then S might come first. So what are the different ways? So you can't sit and calculate, right? That is why we have permutation formula. Okay. Now you have to carefully pay attention to what I'm saying. This method is for not distinct objects, as in where repetition is there. Okay. Repetition is allowed. This is for that type. Okay. Now carefully look at the word institute. And what are your observations? Think for a minute. Institute has how many letters? Institute is a 9-lettered word. Okay, so 9 letters in total. Okay, in this word, I is repeated. Okay, I is repeated 2 times. Any other word repeated? T, T is repeated 3 times. So, this is a case of repetition. How do you solve this? Very simple. Total upon repeated. Total upon repeated. Total is how much? 9 factorial. Upon repeated is 2 factorial. Again, repeated is 3 factorial. I'll just expand this now. Okay. And after expansion, whatever remains is your answer. So if you want, we can just expand it quickly. 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 factorial. 2 factorial into 3 factorial. So 3 factorial gets cancelled. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 into 1. 2 factorial is nothing but 2 into 1. Correct? So 2 ones are 2 twos are correct. So whatever you get after multiplication is your answer. How many four digit numbers can be formed by using 1 to 9 if the repetition is not allowed? Not allowed, I can use the direct formula. Okay. How many total digits I have? 9 digits I have. So, what is my n? N is 9. How many four digit can be formed? So, 4 digit. So, R is my 4. So, what is my formula? NPR is equal to n factorial upon n minus R factorial. So, in this case, n is 9, P, R is 4. So, n factorial upon n minus R factorial, which gives me 9 factorial upon 9 minus 4, which is 5. 5 factorial. Expand. Don't expand completely. Expand till 5. 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 upon 5 factorial. So 5 factorial and 5 factorial gets cancelled, and whatever you get after the multiplication, 9 into 8, 72, 72 into 7 into 6. So 72 into 7 6 are 42. So you get 3024. Okay. So this is how you apply the formula. And then coming to the formula summary, we have covered everything. Yes, repetition is allowed, no repetition is allowed. Same way in permutation, n raised to r. So we had seen the rows example, remember, wherein 4 raised to 4 I had done. So this is the repetition allowed. Then we just saw not repetition allowed formula, which was n factorial upon n minus r factorial. And I hope this lecture was illustrative enough and you have understood and the basic concepts of permutation and combinations are cleared. Bye, students. See you in the next video.